kill that. It's got to just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4-foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the right guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's going to go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does. Here.
Okay, so it might, close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and
out on the ice. There's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone.
Girl, easy! Whoa!
Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense when I did curl.
Well, we got to not kill that. It's got to just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4-foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the right guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's going to go spinning.
Stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone.
Girl, easy! Whoa!
Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense when I did curl.
Well, we got to not kill that. It's got to just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4-foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the right guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's going to go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does. Here.
Okay, so it might, yep. Close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you...
Last drop. Yep. 8th in. The tie. 2-1. Isabel Verano.
Yep.
our 5th event this season on the Grand Slam of Curling. We've got the best teams in the world under one roof, and we are going live on Sportsnet, so we want to be as loud as we can. Let's meet the team starting on Sheet A. First up, from the Red Rocks, coming in with a record this week of 2-0, curling out of Sunderberg, Sweden, Team Hasselborg. And throwing the Yellow Rocks, coming in with a record of 1-2, from Sapporo, Japan, Team Tabata. And on Sheet B, first up, throwing the Red Rocks, coming in with a record of 1-1, also curling in Sapporo, Japan, Team Yoshimura. And throwing the Yellow Rocks, coming in with a 1-2 record, also curling out of Sunderberg, Sweden, Team Rano. And on Sheet C, first up, throwing the Yellow Rocks, coming in with a record of 2-1, curling out of Geneva, Switzerland, Team Scwaller. And throwing the Red Rocks with a record of 0-2, curling out of Duluth, Minnesota, USA, Team Dropkin. And on Sheet D, our featured matchup on Sportsnet. First up, throwing the Yellow Rocks, coming in with a record of 1-1, curling out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, Team McKeever. And their opponents throwing the Red Rocks with a record of 1-2, curling out of St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, Team Gushu. Curling fans, we invite you to cheer as loud as you want, whenever you want, but please, no flash photography. Games will begin momentarily. Good luck to all, and good curling.
The Grand Slam of Curling calendar. A big game this morning, 2-1. Yannick Scwaller looking to improve to 3-1, get ever closer to a playoff spot. Corey Dropkin clinging to his life here at 0-2. John Cullen alongside two-time Scotties champion Chelsea Carey. And Chelsea, you have said this is your third Team Dropkin game of the week, so give us a little bit of a scouting report here. Obviously sitting at 0-2, been a bit of a struggle for them so far. What's been going on with this American rink?
Yeah, I'm basically their personal commentator at this point, and they
did they request that? Or?
Well, probably they want me off now because they've lost both the first two games. But yeah, it's just really been a struggle. The ice here this week, we have seen it be a little bit tricky, and Team Dropkin just struggling to figure that out. There's been a lot of talk about, was that the release, was that the spot, was that the rock? Just a lot of questions. They're not far off. They've put together some good ends, and they've had some good opportunities. They just haven't been able to capitalize. So they'll want to win this game. Obviously, after a disappointing Worlds, playing one of those opponents from that World Championship, hopefully they can find their game today.
Yeah, it's like we said, a big one here. Usually 3 losses means you're out at the Players' Championship. Only 6 teams qualifying for the playoffs. So this will be a big game for the team from Duluth, Minnesota. Skip is Corey Dropkin. Third, Tom Howell. Second is Andrew Stapera. And the lead is Mark Fenner.
6-2. Very nice start, 6-2.
And that'll find the center line, and a come around here called for Team Yannick Scwaller, curling out of Geneva, Switzerland. Skip is Yannick Schwaller. He throws the third stones. Fourth is Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel. Second is Sven Mikkel, and the lead is Pablo Lachaux-Couchepin. You're at the World Championships, Chelsea, on commentary. We know this Team Scwaller
winning silver at the event, losing the final to Bruce Mowat. We've often talked about Benoit and his long streak of bronzes, both at the World Championships and at the Olympics. So bit of a breakthrough for him. Obviously unfortunate not to win the final. But what did you see from them at the World Championships? Obviously we know they're a great team, number 4 in the world. But at the World specifically, what impressed you about them?
Yeah, they played really well, and Benoit himself played really well, both all week in that World Championship and especially in the final. That was one of the better individual performances I've ever seen. He was 100% through 6 or 7 ends, and they end up losing the game because Mowat played even better. But Benoit's so good, but I think they really needed that, at least even to get to that final. Yes, they're disappointed with silver, but at least they broke through and made it to the final, and I think that that's a huge confidence boost for them. And I think that this team is starting to round into form. We did see Benoit previously with a different foursome, and then adding Yannick, adding Pablo, and Sven moving to second, and I think they're starting to figure it out. It's taken them a few years to really get settled in kind of new roles for everybody but Benoit himself, really. So I think that they're getting there, and it was really a lot of fun to watch them play. They had a great week in Moose Jaw.
Yeah, I definitely love watching them play. They like rocks in play. Benoit's got all the shots in his locker. They call him Mr. T because he is an unbelievable draw player, but he can throw the big weight too, and yeah, they're a very exciting team to watch. Unfortunately for Mark Fenner, coming up a little light on the draw, so Scwaller splitting the house with their second lead stone from Pablo.
Easy. Curl. 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 Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
And that will get rid of one yellow. Rolls over towards the other one, but ooh, did it spin back in for shot?
Not sure if it's shot, but it's in a pretty good spot. Yannick thinks he's shot stone. But it's hard to hit that and roll to a good place. It would have been nice if it was shot rock, but not a terrible result for Andrew Stapera.
Good way.
So talk about splitting the rings, but they're coming around the rock in the middle here.
It's hard to split the rings and stay second. I think that guard is kind of in the way, and with the amount of curl, although we have seen it be a little bit straighter to the wings than it is to the middle on most of the sheets here. I think that's just a hard draw, so they almost don't have a choice but to go around the middle. I think this one's heavy, though.
13-4.
And that one will go all the way through the house for Sven Mikkel. Don't see a 0 out of him too often.
Yeah, I heard somebody say 13-4. That's going to be through the house in a lot of places, although yesterday in the first end we did see 13-5, 13-6 stopping in the back of the house, but it's gotten faster and faster here with pretty much every draw we've seen. The first day was a little bit slower. Yesterday was quite a bit faster, so I think the player's still adjusting a little bit to that as well.
Yep.
So very short run back here for Andrew Stapera.
Hard. Clean. Yep. Yep.
Does it get the yellow out? It does. Now how about the roll? Not quite, but still nice shot there from Andrew.
Elf.
Yeah, overcurled on them a little bit. Would have liked to stick that run rock, but then almost got away with it because of the roll. Kind of ended up a little bit in between. Does the trick for the most part.
Yeah, almost seemed to me like they were trying harder for the roll than they were to stick both stones.
I agree. I was surprised to hear Corey say clean, so he must have been playing for that.
Yeah. And that's a tough pair for Sven Mikkel.
Very uncharacteristic. We don't see Sven miss it. He played incredible at the Worlds for a lot of it as well himself, so I'm definitely surprised by that. And both basically right out of his hand were missed.
Yeah, as you said, great player. Obviously, a ton of experience, even as a skip.
Yeah.
He started out as skipping, and then was a great third for Team de Cruz, and now playing second. Just won the Swiss Mixed Doubles Championship with his partner Alina Petz. So they'll be at the World Mixed Doubles coming up in a couple weeks here in Fredericton. We know that's going to be an important tournament for a lot of countries with regards to Olympic qualification.
Line's good.
And yeah, to your point, Chelsea, you don't see those misses too often from Sven, and certainly not 2 in a row.
No, and like I say, kind of right out of his hand. So I don't think it was ice that was surprising them. They just weren't thrown very well, which, yeah, we just don't see that from Sven very much.
Little bit. Good. Good spot.
Guard up for Tom Howell. Does leave a piece of this red exposed if they wanted to chase.
We've seen this Dropkin team shuffle their lineup quite a bit as well, with Tom starting out playing lead and Andrew Stapera was playing third and Mark Fenner was at second, and they've kind of all shuffled positions now. Fenner moving down to lead and Andrew moving to second and Tommy moving from lead all the way up to third. So it seemed like it sparked something when they did it. They've had a reasonably good season, but tough last couple of weeks here.
Yeah, winning the U.S. championships for what Corey Dropkin considers the first time.
Yes, yeah.
They did win in 21, but John Schuster was not at that event, and it was a bit of a different format because of COVID, so...
You have to wonder if that was a factor, too. I watched them win that game, and the level of emotion that went into that win had to have been draining. And then they go to a World Championship, and how do you recover, and how do you get that back at again, what they sort of consider their debut at a World Championship with so much on the line, with those Olympic points and everything else. So you have to wonder if the emotion of that win of the U.S. National Championship factored into their performance at Worlds as well.
Yeah, I mean, you went through that, right? You know, when you won the Scotties for the first time, didn't have an amazing World Championship. Like, you did well, but it wasn't maybe what you expected. And I'm sure for you, it's the same thing, right? You dream of winning the Scotties as a Canadian curler. You don't always necessarily allow your mind to go past that and think about the World Championships. And similar to the U.S. Nationals, the gap between winning your Nationals and the Worlds is really not that long.
No, it's very close, especially even closer for the Scotties. You only have a couple weeks, so it is hard. It's hard to get yourself back to that place when you're not really, like you said, you don't let yourself go past it, because winning the Scotties is so hard that you can't really. And so, yeah, it can definitely play a factor when you get to that World Championship.
Guard up for Tom Howell.
It's quick. Yeah. That spot's nice.
And it looks like they're going to play a freeze small tap here for Yannick Scwaller. It's been a busy year for Yannick. Birth of his first child, and then had that knee injury that required surgery. Missed a month of this season. And I know I was talking to him before the game, and he said we're just trying to find our second wind here at this event, or maybe it's like fifth wind by this point. But he said they're starting to feel a little settled into this tournament now. I think the first couple days of the players probably feel almost like a continuation of the Worlds in some way.
Yeah, there's no time. Everybody came straight from the Worlds to here on basically a red-eye flight overnight.
Yes.
There's zero time to recover, and so it's gotta be a little bit like you don't even know where you are or what day it is or what's going on.
Yeah, I think now that they've made it to Thursday, they've had a few good sleeps under their belt. They're feeling a little more dialed into the players, although maybe that was a mistake because they've missed 3 of their last 4 shots.
Yeah, so far it's a struggle.
And then they might play that tap. Right. I'm fine with either one. I'm just throwing it out. Yeah, I don't mind it. Right here. I think ideally we just want to get to inside nose.
Ja, er is 3-8 on that. And that's probably, what, back 12?
Yeah,
so 14,
back 8, back 12.
14-5. Kind of rolled to an awkward spot, so might as well just make this draw good.
Yeah, Corey, there's not really a great place. The hit and roll under the guard is what you would like to play, but it's going to run straight into the side of your own red rock and just leave a pocket, so that's no good. So they're going to, rather than hitting and rolling away and leaving the same shot for Yannick, they're going to just straight draw and kind of try to block that path. Talking about a 14-5 for speed.
Yeah, this is one of those situations, you're right, Chelsea, that hitting the yellow doesn't do you a ton of good, but if you don't make this shot, leaving that yellow there could come back to bite you.
Yeah, you don't really like leaving it there, but there's not a good hit on it, so I think this is the right call.
A little bit early. Yep.
Close.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Gotta go.
Don't want to hear hard early for line.
Yeah, this looks like it's all over the top.
Gotta go.
Hard for the guard. Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Now they're trying to over curl here and give themselves some kind of angle. That's a huge mistake from Corey Dropkin. This is exactly the worst fear realized here. Benoit Schwartz and Van Berkel could make this. They'll be set up really well for 2.
Aber nå setter det double, da.
Vi må se til spillet nå.
Ja, det er så, ja.
Ja. Hva med det
Backline.
I thought the
in
weight
het
was
surf,
fine
ja.
earlier.
Ja.
I thought I was back on that too.
Yeah, I
Het
like
komt
the
zo,
way
het komt zo, wijs.
really unusual movement. Like Yannick's also moves weird, right?
Yeah.
So it might just be that side is really.
Also Yannick is, Yannick van de Fianna. Also, nein, natuurlijk.
Corey and Tom both seemed happy with his throw, so that surprised them a bit. A little more curled out than they expected, and then the weight ended up not being close, but if it hadn't curled so early, the weight might have been fine. So sometimes that can be a little deceiving. I got 16 seconds, and they were looking for 14 and a half, but that doesn't mean he didn't throw the right speed initially. That crazy curl will pull the weight off.
I mean, it was like a half ice.
So first rock here for last rock thrower Benoit Schwartz van Berkel.
Oui. Oh. Oui. Oh. Oui. Gal. Gal. Here, all.
Definitely don't want to roll on top of your own if you can help it. That's pretty good from Benoit. They lie too.
Weniger finish when you erwartet have.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know if there's enough room. If Corey could ever get low and roll, there's a kind of a wall of guards there, then Benoit might have to play the run back, but it's not easy. They're sort of fighting this spot a little bit. That one under curled and Corey's over curled, and I think there's a little bit of uncertainty.
Yeah, that looks out.
That's your suggestion?
Unfortunately, it's out.
All right, thin one?
Yeah, smooth peel.
So the thin double is here for Corey Dropkin.
Quarter should be fine, right?
Thin quarter.
Massachusetts native, now makes his home in Duluth.
Fully buried was zo goed.
Yeah, the issue here is less making the double and more sticking your shooter. It's so thin to stick, and that shooter's going to want to spin up and out the side, which isn't the end of the world, but you'd love to stick and make Benoit make the blank.
Last rock for Corey Dropkin here in the first end.
Yep. Hard.
Trying to prevent a two for Team Scwaller. And I don't think they have it, and they don't. Again, just over curling on Corey there, and this is what we in the business might refer to as a cheap two.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt for Corey. They had a really good opportunity there, and a couple misses. He got a couple misses early out of uncharacteristic misses out of Sven and Yannick, and you got to take advantage when you get that against this team because they're not going to miss those very often.
Yeah, it was pretty much 2 zeros and a 1 from Sven and Yannick. And now Benoit just basically has to hit paint here, full 12 for 2.
Finish niet het probleem. 14-4.
Pablo with the classic one-hand clean. And that will be 2 on the board for the Swiss. We'll see if Corey Dropkin can make some noise with hammer right after this.
How about tricky line?
Jo, Gav, wer hat mit der Sache?
They might both those out of hand. Draw started turning over a little bit earlier, but I thought it was.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Again. Yeah. And then your draw was lost at half ice. So I think there's somewhere in the 8-foot middle to like edge of 4-foot in the middle there somewhere where there's some sort of line. Okay. And it's tricky because your peel just curled 3 inches. Yeah. And you just jumped at half ice. It was gone.
Yeah,
when you threw it good.
And I thought we were going to be staying off.
I was kind of,
All right, guys, have a good end here. Should go back.
Ich glaube, es ist gut, aber wir müssen nicht machen. Floated ein bisschen. Ich glaube, es ist 4 Fuß.
And he threw it great. He was like,
maybe a line, around where the 4-foot ring would be on that left side of the ice. That's where we saw Corey's draw over curl and rack the guard, and also where we saw his double over curl. So something to keep an eye on for sure. I know this sheet has been a bit tricky. This is the 3rd game I've called on this sheet, and teams have had a little bit of an issue navigating it, but Yeah, we'll see if that was indeed the factor as we move ahead here.
Yeah, keep an eye on it because Benoit's draw ran fine, but he might have taken a little bit more ice than Corey took or set it a little bit more out into a different path. There is sometimes a bit of a ridge like that. That's for sure a thing that can happen. So we'll keep an eye on that in-turn around the edge of the forefoot going away here.
Curl for high.
So Pablo Lechak-Couchepin's first rock comes into the back 8 foot.
Keep going.
So that was a bit of a mistake, and a bit of a mistake here from Mark Fenner as well, leaving this corner guard very high right on the steam whistle logo.
Yeah, that's not going to be very useful that high. Probably need to throw another corner if you're going to have any chance to really use it.
Full 4 squad.
Just a reminder, we have all of this Draw 9 action available for you on the Home Team Network. It is Team Hasselborg facing off against Momoha Tabata. Yoshimura is facing off against Isabella Vrano, and our other feature game this afternoon, Brad Guju facing off against Mike McEwen. We got Brent Lang, John Epping, and the broadcast debut of Brent's daughter Bella Lang in the booth. So you can get streaming of all 4 of those games right now on Home Team Network.
Okay, stay close.
Ready, come back.
Line's nice. Don't want to go. Okay,
so going for a double corner here with where Mark's first one ended up. Pablo putting his second directly on the button here.
Got to carve till it stops.
And this is going to be too heavy.
Never off.
So Fenner light on his first, heavy on his second.
4-4. 12.
Has not been the dream start here so far for Team Dropkin.
No, and the unfortunate thing there is if it's in and sort of just top 12 and buried, it's not so bad. But I think that they can see it's probably mostly buried from the hack. But Yannick thinking they can get there with like a 12, which would be sort of solid hack.
I think they almost certainly can get there. There's about 12 to 15 feet of gap between the guard and the stone, so it's definitely there.
Serve! Can we hold it? You okay? Als je stoppen. Neem de bak.
And not only do they rack the guard, but they completely remove it from play, and we are in the 5-rock rule, so that will go back, and that is
just asked you if we can. I saw it.
See how fast that was gone?
3 straight zeros for Sven Mikkel.
I don't remember the last time that happened.
No, very rare. And again, you hear Tom Howell say they just think there's, I don't know, I guess maybe there's a ridge on this turn too. I don't know. There can't be, the whole ice can't be a ridge.
No, there's got to be some flat surface in there somewhere.
Yeah. That was a 14-4 on this.
But again, Tom's saying that they felt like maybe they lost it a little bit right out of the hand. Always have to leave open the opportunity, or leave open the idea that you're throwing it bad as well.
Yeah.
That does also have to be part of the equation sometimes.
That does exist. Not every throw is a perfect throw. I did just hear Benoit say they're going to maybe switch out Sven's rocks, and at some point, if your player hasn't made a single shot, even if it isn't the rock, just do something to give them a little bit of confidence.
Totally.
That's okay. Curl. Whoa, whoa.
Right to it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a fine spot. Pretty good.
So right on top of the Mark Fenner stone for Andrew Stapera. And now they're going to try this run back, and it's pretty long. This is no gimme here for Sven. Love to make contact with at least one of these reds in the house.
Whoa! Good! Good! Good!
And there we go. Sven's on the board.
Eerste moed. Ja, ik zei, dit is sowieso echt wel weer een chase.
Anything on this?
So nice shot from Sven Mikkel, gets rid of 2 reds, moves the other one away from that guard.
Same weight.
We are going to see Corey Dropkin try to go around this guard. I'm maybe a little surprised that he's doing this just because that guard is so high.
Yeah, I am a little bit too.
It's probably my fault that the mistake happened.
Top 12, top 8. Okay, clean. Yep. A little bit early. A little bit early. Gotta go. Gotta stay down, Tom. Gotta stay down. Okay, line's good now.
This one has to be there for the Americans with
never curl.
Scwaller lying at least one here.
5-7.
Just around at top 12. With how high that guard is, that's probably the ideal spot for it, but Yannick can hit this and they lie 3.
Yeah, if you bring it any deeper, it's chaseable, but by leaving it that high, they can just ignore it for now. So I don't really know what a better option was, so I get it to some degree, but the issue is just how long that guard was in the first place.
Ja, halbe rollen lohnt sich, weil dann ist mit dem Double Roll nicht gerade Shot.
Like Sven's dig. Sven's dig crossed earlier, and it was gone.
Die zit middies, ja.
Just an open hit here for Yannick Scwaller.
Relax. Attention Pablo. Wow, Kerl un peu. Wow. Kerl. Oh. Kerl. Whoa.
So the hit made, and Scwaller now lies 3.
Looks like we're not rolling far.
I think I'm seeing 7-5.
I like that. I wouldn't mind making sure we stick, though.
Okay, 8-5.
Yeah.
We're just going to be sitting there. 8-5.
The double's more important than the roll, I think.
I agree with Tom on this. You cannot roll your shooter out, so a little bit less weight makes some sense to me. Even if you don't make the double, it's better than rolling out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Yep. Close. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Okay.
And you knew it wasn't made. Corey Dropkins,
yeah,
was coming down the sheet.
Close to the hog line, he already knew. Those are so frustrating too, because you're just stuck in between. You can't carve it, you can't hold it straight. It's just inevitable.
Guess we're in hell, boys.
Yeah. Probably does feel like that to Team Dropkin right now.
Yeah, 0-2 and giving up that pretty easy 2 in the first. Definitely not feeling great, I'm sure.
And 0-2 at players isn't that crazy because everybody's really good, but just both really quick, short games with not a great performance from Team Dropkin. If you lose 2 close games to really good teams, you start out with like White, Mowat and stuff, and that's a really hard draw. Lots of people are going to lose to both those teams, but you want to feel like you're at least playing well, and that's just not what they're feeling like right now.
Jam is even niet loopt. Halve breken.
So a hit and roll here for Yannick Scwaller. Just want to avoid the jam on that yellow in the back 8-foot.
Attention Pablo. What? Whoa. Pablo. Oui. Wow. C'est parfait. Oui. Wow. Oui. Je pense que ici c'est mieux. Ouais, c'est bien.
And nice shot there from Yannick Scwaller. They once again lie 3.
It's a triple there. Probably jammed on the back a lot of the time.
I think you try it.
You have to try it. Even if you only get 2, that's okay.
8. Thank you. 11-3. Yeah. Okay. It's the hair high nose. Close.
You're calling out your negativity every second here.
Whoa, yep.
Double try incoming for Tom Howell. And that over curls at the end, and they only get one of them. That's also unfortunate. Yeah, really had to get 2 of them there, Chelsea, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It rolled to a spot that makes it a little bit awkward for Benoit and Yannick, but it's not even second shot. If it rolled for a second, it might have been okay, but yeah, they just lost the line call on that one a little bit, curled up more at the end than they were expecting. It seemed like they thought they had it until just past the hog line.
Moi, j'aime encore die 11, mais si tu veux 10, mit 10 drinnen bleiben, oben durch, haben wir einfach ein bisschen weniger Marge. 10,5, ist gut. Sorry?
Gibt es.
Ja, ich sage ja, ich will 11, Sven.
Okay.
Das ist nur ein Vorschlag.
Ist gut, machen wir das.
7, 8, 11,5.
Ist gut, Yannick.
Oui.
So what was the debate here? I mean, I know you don't speak Swiss German, but...
No, if they were speaking French, I might have a chance. But I think just what are you trying to, like, are you trying to stick your shooter? Are you trying to just pick it and roll out? So then what kind of weight are you throwing is my guess, because it looks like they're going to try to stick it, but it's really hard to miss that back one and stick it.
Yeah, definitely with that broom, I can't imagine they're throwing a ton of weight here.
No, but if you don't stick it, then you leave a double and stick for Corey. So I think it's worth a try, but definitely a hard shot here for Benoit.
Cool. Mush for Sagara's piece.
Really trying to go to get it anything on this red. Oh, boy.
Oh, disaster.
That is worst case scenario for Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel. Doesn't get the red out. Not only doesn't get it out, but bumps it in for second shot.
I think it's just that.
I may not speak Swiss German, but I heard hard for a piece.
Yeah, I did hear that too.
I managed to decipher that one.
I think they try to make the double with like 10-5.
Seemed like they liked it out of his hand, though, so I think, again, just trying to figure out the different spots and just watch Tom's over curl. Had to think that one was going to go a little straight, like move a little bit, and it went quite straight.
When he makes the double. So.
But even if he goes for the double and misses it, it's a nose for 3, right?
Yep. Yep.
What would you guys rather?
I was thinking 10. I was thinking 10. Make that double and roll. And at the very least, just make this.
Ja, ik geloof het wel.
Ja.
Ja, wenn es kein Doppel geht.
Should be some curl here.
I know. Theirs just went super straight though.
I think he spins it.
Okay.
Throwing 10.
So now for Corey, the little slash double here available to potentially lie 3.
You like that?
I like it.
Second end in a row, we've seen some misses on Skip's rocks present opportunities for the other team. This would be a big one here for Corey and his team.
Yeah, and I think they're talking about making the double and rolling away, but again, sticking is probably as important or more important than. So you have to be a little bit careful. You don't want to miss this on the thin side.
4-5 mist.
10. Let's make the roll.
Wat is nu een gimme dus?
Nee, dat wel.
First rock in 2 for Corey Dropkin. Looking for a double.
Clean. Close. Yep. Yes. Whoa. Whoa.
Dus ik zie hier nog niet lachen.
Clean.
Het is zeer goed.
Sounds close.
Het is zeer goed.
Sounds close, and just like that, lovely touch from Corey Dropkin.
Mir gefällt es, aber wenn es dir nicht gefällt,
and just like that, they lie 3.
Ja, nein, nein.
So.
Ich will mehr.
Also sie essen zu viel Girl da.
Nein, sie haben viel Girl da.
Aber sie haben nicht viel Girl, dass sie rausgedraht haben.
Really not a great scenario for Schwaller. I think your only shot here is a freeze, Chelsea, and if you don't make that, you might give up 4.
Yeah, I think that's the question. If you're 2 up, so you could just hit the 1, give up your 3, take your medicine. But there is a lot of room to freeze, and Benoit's very good at this, so it's one of those debates, is how much risk are you willing to take on?
Not too surprised that Benoit is willing to take on the risk of the freeze.
No, neither am I.
We've seen how good he is at these over the years.
Good throw.
Benoit's a big game player and a big shot player too, so he, even though he just missed his first one, like he'll be up for this, and he's very emotionally level, so he doesn't get, not easily flappable.
What? 50?
Yeah. Oh, 100%, I think. With a, like a lovely...
Ja, ich habe gesagt, 14. In der Mitte ist nicht ein bisschen hart.
That guard's so high, I think.
Die Guards sind viel Guard in der Mitte, weißt du?
There's curl this way, too.
So final stone here for Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel in the second end, and it's a big one. Needs to make a good freeze here to get his team out of a jam. Any miss might open the door for 4. Sven Mikkel on it right away.
Auf dieser Spur darf man nicht bouncen.
Doesn't move till late.
Wird müssen curlen. Wenn bouncen ist es einfach open hit.
Seems like the weight is close, but do they have the line?
Make keine Linie.
14.5, it needs to curl and sit.
Curl, 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 curl.
So weight was perfect, but line never really matched. And Corey Dropkin will have a hit for 4. It's not easy, but it is definitely there.
Based on how straight that went, you have to think that this will go straight for Corey too, so just need to be a little bit careful.
You like a straight through 12?
Straight through.
Ik meine, sie machen eigentlich de perfecte sweep, oder?
Straight through 12, so they're talking about the release, straight through meaning without much of a set. I do think Corey and his team, but Corey specifically probably gets more curl than Benoit in general.
And it got over the line early.
Which in this case
was
might
on the
last
guard.
and it burnt him. In this case, it might work for him.
You like a hair more then?
I like a hair more, but straight through.
Okay.
Ja, doe maar. Ga terug.
That looks like quite a bit of ice to me, but they're talking about a straight through release. So if that's the case, then they should get a little bit more finish.
For this, it could take off when it gets over that line.
Well, the team has done a lot of talking about the ice so far through 2 ends. We'll see if they've got the sheet mapped here. Final stone of the second end. It's in the hands of Corey Dropkin, and it's a chance for 4.
Yep.
Stopera picking it up right away.
Yes. Hard. Gotta go.
This is moving.
Hard, Andrew.
This is really moving. And wow, not only do they not clear the rock in the house, they don't clear the corner guard. That is a steal of 1 for Yannick Scwaller, but that is a 5-point swing. Goes from bad to worse for Corey Dropkin. Scwaller leads 3-0.
Every day you go new places. A small change in how you do things, or moving your things to a whole new town, or many things to many towns all at once. No matter how small the move, it can be a big leap from where you are now. You've got it in you to go new places. So do we. We go there every day. We're here to help you move to places on the map, in the mind, in the heart, or all 3.
Go new places with AMJ Campbell. Contact us at 888-AMJ-MOVE or amjcampbell.com.
Well, Chelsea, I'm a little nervous that it may be turning into, quote, one of those weeks for Corey Dropkin, because that was a great opportunity. As we said, not an easy shot, but Corey was nowhere close on that throw. Chance for 4, gives up a steal of 1.
Yeah, I think they're really just struggling to get the ice mapped out. We saw Benoit's draw go very, very straight, and then Corey and Tom talked a lot about whether it was going to curl when it got off the line, but we wanted a straight through release. Like, I think at some point when you're struggling, you just need to throw the rock. So trying to manipulate releases, it just might not be the time for that, even though I get why, because it's a straight spot. You don't want to set it and whatever, but it's just hard. It's hard to watch because we've all been there. Everybody's been there where they are right now. And it's the most frustrating thing you could possibly experience.
Well, I think sometimes, too, the tendency is that when you are struggling, you want to find something to blame or something to focus on, and they're clearly focused on the ice. And not that they're necessarily blaming the ice, but they've got it in their minds that the ice is really tricky.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you do that, to your point, you just kind of, you lose a little bit of the sense of, like, let's just make this shot.
Yeah.
Instead of, geez, guys, we got to do this thing and this thing and this thing in this spot, or we're not going to make it, you know?
Yeah, it's easy to say and hard to do, but you overcomplicate it in your head when you're struggling and everything just seems hard. And I think that one of the things that was the most effective for me personally and for my teams when we were struggling like that is less discussion. Because all it's doing is putting extra doubt in your head. You need to kind of fake it till you make it. Even if you're not sure what the spot's going to do, don't talk about it. Just, okay, this should curl a little bit or this should run a little bit straight. Put the broom down and throw the rock and just keep it as simple as you can in your head, which, like I say, is really easy to say and really hard to do.
For sure.
But that's what I would be saying if I was coaching this team. Look, guys, we got to stop worrying about, like, it's just there's too much thought jumble in there about what's the spot going to do, what's this ice, and what happened to their rock, and what happened to our one earlier in the end, and are the rocks good, is the ice good? It's just, there's so many questions, and that's just how it feels when you get into this kind of a week that Team Dropkin is having here so far. I think they'll be very happy to know I'm not on the call for the rest of their games. I feel like I'm a curse.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
It is your fault. It's a good point. So just a straight wrap here for Mark Fenner. Good pair of stones for him. Good pair for Pablo Lechat-Couchepin as well. Scwaller lying 2 here. Throwing the guard is Sven Mikkel. Guard up for Sven Mikkel. Scwaller still lying 2 here. Decent shot, though, from Stopera.
Yeah, more important to get the line right there than to sit second shot, and I think they did that. It's pretty much dead buried.
That's pretty good. Lying 1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, and a good angle to remove that red. Corey can't leave that one there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, disaster.
They were trying to run back, and Andrew Stopera maybe fed that a little bit on release. Corey tried to call the audible for the straight peel, but they end up dead jamming it on their red one, and now Scwaller is lying 1, 2, 4, 5. So guard going back up here for Yannick Scwaller.
Yeah, keeping the pedal to the metal here, you could hit this. That top yellow is lined up to really easily kill that red, but by delaying it, you could make it later and make Corey throw against 4 or 5 potentially. So
yeah,
keeping
honestly,
the pressure on here, which I can't blame them for. When you see a team that's struggling, it's like there's a little bit of blood in the water, and Team Scwaller can smell it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Right now, with the way Corey's throwing, I'd love to see him draw against 5 if I'm Team Scwaller. That guard slides maybe a hair deeper than they would have wanted it, but certainly does the trick. Nothing great here for Dropkin. At this point in the end, you're only on your third's first rock. You're already probably thinking, we have no way of getting 2. You know, you'd like to be trying to set up your 2 here, but you're probably thinking to yourself, you know what?
You need to score,
yeah,
or else the game might be over.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, I mean, if you get a break, maybe you somehow get a deuce later, but for now, you just need to open up this middle so that you have any chance to score.
It's not a great result either. That red guard is, or where that red rock ended up, is not helping them.
No, it's in your way. Not that that draw looks very nice,
yeah,
but
yeah, exactly.
Nothing looks very nice right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
If that ends up being Corey's draw at the end of the end, something has gone even more horrifically wrong than it's already gone. Another guard here for Yannick Scwaller, and why not? Still lying 2. This is pretty light. Lachak Couchepin trying to bring this over. That's a really good sweep. One of the best in the world at carving is Pablo, and you see it there.
A very unorthodox sweeping
style. Very much so.
Man,
yeah.
Is he effective? It looks like he's going to hit the rock with his knee all the time.
All the time.
It's incredible to. At Worlds, I just kept marveling at how effective he is, though.
Oh yeah, he gets the job done. Big guy, tall guy, knows how to manipulate the stone. Does probably burn more rocks than anyone else.
Yeah,
burned
he does.
one yesterday.
He did at least, I think, 2 that I saw at Worlds as well.
Yeah, but that's kind of the
you
risky
take that
run.
Risk, yeah, absolutely.
The team never seems mad when he burns it, so they all have kind of known.
Like they play the whole World Championship, he burns, say, 2, but he makes, 15, 20 of them with that effectiveness of the carve, so.
So now this is getting into a little bit of scary territory here for Corey Dropkin, leaving the center guard up. Need to make this tap. Does Tom Howell. Oh, this is curling again. Oh, that's disaster.
Oh, my heart just hurts for them.
you maybe couldn't draw up a worse result than that.
No, you couldn't.
Sometimes we talk about that, oh, you couldn't have walked it down the sheet any better. This is like you couldn't have thrown it down there any worse.
The exact opposite of that, yeah. If they hit a little more of the yellow, it's okay. They save the shooter. They roll behind the corner guard. It's not bad, but they were so close to making it that you had to keep sweeping it. And then, of course, just the feather rub. The struggle is there, and then when they throw a good rock, they just can't even buy a result.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I think the worst part there is, like you said, Chelsea, if you knew you weren't going to make it in the house, you'd probably come off it and click the center guard. The worst part of the shot is you leave that center guard there. Now Benoit can throw a double center behind it, and you're in just huge trouble. So first rock here for Benoit Schwartz van Berkel. This is maybe a little deeper than they would have wanted it, so trying to massage the line here is Sven Mikkel. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it ends up doing the job. As long as the line was good, it was okay to be deep because that's I think fully buried or close to it around that long guard.
Yeah, Corey was sweeping around these yellow rocks like he feels that he's got a path in here. So they are, this is like a shot a skip would normally be throwing on their last, a desperation throw. So you know when the desperation throw is coming in early, that's a bad sign. Because, yeah, if you ever miss this, you're going to have nothing on your last.
You could, though, make this good enough to kill 2 yellows. You're going to leave 1 yellow shot rock, but you might be second and third. You could stuff this in there. So this could turn this whole end around.
So huge shot here. First rock for Corey Dropkin, looking for a double angle run double. Nope.
Close again. Well thrown.
Yeah, Corey throws that big weight quite well. But that did not help them very much. It's still Team Scwaller lying 2. And yeah, I think if you get this guard up, I don't know what Corey has, and not even for 1. It's like, I don't even know if you have a shot to prevent giving up a steal at 2. It's going to be really, really tough here for Team Dropkin.
Do you think you could make that in-turn draw? The court is tight, but it might be there.
Oh my God.
I don't see much else.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I don't see anything else that's even possible. So if this is made,
I feel like you'd almost have to throw a spinner through that hole. That might be the only way you can get through.
You might even have to throw a spinner and try to kiss your red.
Yeah, that's
and then have it spin down.
Exactly. Well, guard's got to go up here for Benoit. And this is, again, maybe a little deeper than they would have wanted, but I think that does do the job. Is there a double tap,
Yeah, I
though,
think
now?
there might be.
That might be the escape valve.
Yeah, that's by far the easiest shot.
Yeah. Yeah, Benoit definitely would have liked that somewhere out around the AMJ Campbell logo.
Yeah, if it was a little bit longer than that Yellowstone that's half in the 12-foot would have probably blocked the double tap, but as it stands now, it's definitely there.
So you heard Corey say back line. You need to hit this yellow on an angle, tap the red up to the button. And fair to say with how this has gone so far, this is probably a game-saving shot. If you give up a steal of 2 and you're down 5-0 against a team like Scwaller, even if you're playing decently, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably to stay in the game, to your point.
So here we go. Final stone for Corey Dropkin. Third end, already down 3, facing 2. Needs an angle tap to keep his team's hopes alive. This doesn't look like a ton of weight to me. This does not look like a ton of weight.
Need to hold the line here.
Got to hold the line. You got to need enough weight to move it far enough. And did they get it just there?
I think they might have. It's close. I'd throw a stick on this.
All right, so they are going to put a stick on it. At least Corey prevented the steal of 2. Really good shot.
Yeah, great shot either way, and a really big recovery for Corey. If it had any more weight, it would have been a lock.
Yeah, I mean, Team Scwaller was literally sitting 2 for 13 rocks of that end. So.
Yeah, we didn't think he was going to have a shot.
Yeah, totally.
Really,
yeah, he got really lucky that Benoit's guard slid deep.
But important to take advantage of those, and that's where they've been struggling. So really big, I think, momentum, if nothing else, for Corey. A little bit of a confidence build.
Yeah, you'd still love to get this single point on the board. So it is red, I believe. So that is 1 for Team Dropkin. Great shot from Corey Dropkin. Scwaller will have the hammer once again in the 4th when we come back.
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste needs little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
So it's been a tough sled here for Corey Dropkin, but perhaps a little bit of momentum at the end of the 3rd makes a double tap for the single point. But it is still Scwaller with a 3-1 lead and the hammer here in the 4th. So trying to play the tick here as Mark Fenner missed the center line with his guard. And that'll work.
Yeah, not a bad result. Would have liked to roll it further, but they can peel that rock if they want to, so Corey's going to have to guard it.
Giving you an update here on the other sheets. Momoha Tabata, as we said, started with 3 in the first end against Anna Hasselborg, but Anna Hasselborg replied with another 3 in the second. They blanked the 3rd. So that one is 3-3. Tabata with the hammer playing the 4th. Sayaka Yoshimura and Isabella Vrano locked in a tight battle here. It's 1-1. Yoshimura with the hammer playing 4. And beside our game is our other feature game with Brent Lang, Isabella Lang, and John Epping on commentary. It's Brad Guju against Mike McEwen. McEwen's leading that one 2-1 in the second, has the hammer in the 3rd. All games available on Home Team Network.
Beside it's a gimme double.
That's why I'm saying I think we have to guard it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this.
High guard? Yeah. Bon. Nosy, je pense. Je pense, hein.
Keep going, guys. Line's getting good. Line's getting good. Hard tummy.
So just over the hog line, and I think the option to peel that yellow is there if Scwaller wants it.
To be a little careful about the side one.
No zit. Ga maar af, aber ich mein, immer das Spieler. Das ist doch die Gaube ist doch viel schlechter für uns.
Yannick is a little tempted to see if maybe they could stick it on that red one. So Pablo Lachat-Couchepin will get a look at his peel weight here. Don't throw these too often as a lead.
No, not very often at all.
He's not even really throwing peel, so there you go.
No, if you're trying to stick it, there's not much sense in throwing peel, and why wouldn't you try to stick it?
Good. Oh, straight.
Sounds close. How about that? Pablo Lachat-Couchepin makes a perfect tick with his first and then makes the long angle takeout on his second. That is gorgeous.
Tight. Top 12's okay, but tight.
Lovely shot making from the big man.
It's much better than going behind, no, or open hit. Because we cannot get a steal now. We're 2 up. That's the worst. Like leaving that there, right? Bon. Okay, I needed to convince them.
So double centers now for Corey Dropkin, ignoring the Yannick Scwaller rock in the house. And just a quick update, Mike McEwen scoring another 2 in the third end, so they lead Brad Gushue 4-1. Brad Gushue trying to avoid that third loss
Hard time, keep going, separation.
that we have talked about as being so important here at the Players' Championship. And for Brad, perhaps, Chelsea, some Brier qualification on the line.
Could be.
Yeah, has about a 50-point lead over John Epping currently, but if Brad were to miss the playoffs and John were to win the Players, John would get the last Brier wildcard spot. Oh, no. Oh, no. Go from making the best shot to the worst possible shot. Sven Mikkel, he's had a tough one here.
Yeah, really has.
But yeah, John Epping would not only take that last Brier spot, but as we know, Brad relies on 2 out-of-province players. He needs the no residency rule that happens for wildcard teams in order to keep his team together. So if John Epping were to win this event and Brad Gushue were to miss the playoffs, we would see either some lineup changes or Jeff Walker moving back into Brad Gushue's basement.
Line's okay.
It's close.
Line's okay.
It's close.
Curl a little bit.
It's heavy.
Carp. Pardon? Okay, good spot. Skart ist nicht so gut.
Ja, das ist so.
5-1.
Geht in Roll.
Für mich wäre das gut. Skart ist nur 1,5. 12,5. Oui, 11,5. Wow. 11,5. Clean. Curl. Wow.
Sehr schön. Super, Sven.
So that's a good shot from Sven Mikkel. Good rebound. Nice little hit and roll. Now Corey's got to decide what to do here. I feel like he already thinks he's got a steal.
Yeah,
They're just going to make the same shot,
right? Don't have to steal, but you have to be thinking that you really want to.
Oh, but I really want to.
Yeah, the scoreboard's just, it's not quite like steal or shake hands, but it's pretty close to that. So I think you have to kind of play for the steal here. But it looks like they are going to play the chase. It's just the problem is that guard is long, so there's not really a good place to draw either.
Clean. Yup. Clean. Yup. Whoa. Yup. Whoa.
They do make contact with the yellow and get rid of it and split their red. So it is looking like a good force situation here for Corey Dropkin. But yeah, steal not so much.
No, it doesn't look like a likely steal at this point. So shift gears, play the force, and then they're going to have to hang a 2 or a 3 up in the next end.
Ja, mit 11 müssen wir den Jamie kaufen. Ich würde es sagen.
The only way was to just go kind of all out and put it top 12. And then just keep going.
Ich glaube, hinten dran ist der Call. Und sonst, wenn ein bisschen vorlaufen.
So for Yannick, just trying to hit and roll somewhere in the vicinity of that redstone in the back 8.
Oh, that's your Pablo. What? Oh. Oui. Oh. Oui. Uh-oh.
Ooh, need that to stick around for shot. And it just does. Good try from Corey Dropkin to sweep it out, but just hangs around for Scwaller. They lie one.
I'd really like to do this, but...
Ja, also roll mit ohne Jam, das macht nicht, ja.
Boah, doch, sicher. Also, man einfach verpasst. Ich meine, es geht ja fast raus.
Even like half of the eight's okay.
Dann ist das nicht mehr im Haus.
Half in the 8.
Don't necessarily need to be shot.
The guard here, we just know it's like
You like this call?
Don't mind it. If you show a little bit on the low side here, if you stay on the broom side for Tom, it maybe cues up a jam, and I don't think you want to be shot, actually. I think that's too deep because then it'll be chaseable for Team Scwaller. So big shot here. Definitely an aggressive call, but I think the scoreboard dictates trying this makes some sense.
Go ahead. Curl then if it's tight. Curl if it's tight. Curl.
Let's say it where to stay, yeah.
Yeah, we got to curl still. It's hanging. Curl. 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 Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. A little more. A little more. A little more. A little more.
Yeah, it's nice and upper, huh?
Okay, good draw.
That's deeper than they wanted it, as you could hear from the size. They were. You heard Corey even say they didn't have to be shot. They were okay just getting it buried in the top 12. This is pretty easily chaseable here for Yannick Scwaller.
Yeah, that's significantly deeper. You want it to be, even if you just bit top 12 foot, even if you were guard, it wouldn't have been a disaster. It would have been better than where it is. So just that few feet heavy there from Tom. This isn't an easy shot, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, 12,5, yeah. Schön auf die Nase, ja.
I feel better, but...
Vitesse, sorry. Oui, oui, oui. Whoa. Oui. Oui. Oui, allez, Pablo. Tu dois.
This took an early turn. Lashak Kushpan had to hold it. They do get it by the guard. Now Sven Mikkel trying to finish it off. And he will. Very nice shot from Yannick Scwaller. The Swiss lie too.
Perfectly made from Yannick.
You want to just try and tap it back to here?
I was thinking space. I think get rid of it. Because then if they know that they'll probably come around, they'll only be sitting third. If they roll to the outside, then probably play, like, they'll roll into it, little bump. Okay. So space wait. Okay. Just want to get this guy out counting it.
So Corey doing our job for us there, walked us through everything that's going to happen for the next, making it real easy on us up here.
That's so kind of you, Corey.
Should move nice and gradual.
Yeah, it's really starting to straighten up, but it should be get a little bit of movement. Glad I looked.
Corey and Andrew just about had a mid-ice collision there. Andrew was cleaning a spot. Corey said, glad I looked. He just looked over his shoulder in time to realize Andrew was in his way.
That would be the ultimate being kicked when you're down.
Yes, exactly. We were losing 3-1 and getting totally dominated. And then I broke my ankle when my teammate was in my way halfway down the sheet.
Yeah, that'd be really especially bad for Corey because he's got to go almost straight to mixed doubles worlds from here.
Yeah, totally. So first rock for Corey Dropkin. It's a chase here.
Nee, es ist nicht so fácil anymore.
Close.
Das hat ganz anders gespielt.
Yep. Hard then.
Yep.
Clean. Yep. Yep. Yep.
This is flirting with the guard here.
Whoa. Hard. Whoa. What?
And this is all over the guard. Light.
Very light.
They just really cannot figure out this sheet. And now all of a sudden threes in play for Team Scwaller.
I have to wonder about that rock. That's a rock that overcurled in the first end and kind of knows the guard and ended up being super light as well. So.
Well, and it's, we talked about it earlier, Chelsea, it's not even just that it's the miss, it's that it's not close.
Exactly. So if it was me and I was on Corey's team right now, even if it's not the rock, I'd say, look, I don't like your first rock at all. We're taking it away from you.
Yeah.
Just get it out of his hands. I don't think he's made a shot with it yet.
I agree. Team talking coming for Team Scwaller, trying how to best determine where and when to twist the knife.
Well, yeah, the worst part is you chipped it to two corner cards, which plays into the hands of Scwaller a little bit as well.
Absolutely.
macht den Hit and Roll, ja, dann müssen wir den Chase spielen. Was möglich. Der Hit and Roll ist nicht einfach.
Also das bringt eigentlich nicht, weil der bleibt immer besser, oder? Ja, aber ich sehe...
Das ist ist nicht eine dumme Überlegung, finde ich gar nicht.
Ja, aber ich frage nicht.
Das splitten könnten wir.
Also Split, ich glaube es ist Split oder Kamera.
Wir können nicht darüber reden mit dem Glenn. Timeout.
Ja. Vierte Perfect Pitch ist wirklich das.
So timeout called for Team Scwaller, and Glenn Howard resuming his role from the Worlds as their coach here in Toronto.
We could go here actually. No? I like it.
Yeah, we just... He's hoping we give him a triple.
It's tough to do 2 feet though with the guards.
And even if you tap on this side, he might have the... But yeah, why not, yeah? Why not?
But if it's not there, don't throw it.
No, I mean,
not sure we haven't really played that track before.
If he makes a freeze, you got it easy.
I think it'll curl nice
I would
at
tap
the end.
more than 2 feet.
It's
What do you think?
What is the speed out there?
It's probably...
So we can a freeze hinten dran, oder? Yeah.
That's why I thought get one on.
Yeah. I think like 4 quarters is quite a good.
14-ish.
So let's play this.
Or fifth.
Let the frost.
Back 4, intern.
So you can see the trust they have in Glenn as their coach. This was not an option they had even discussed. And then Glenn came out and suggested it, and they immediately went with it. I think it's a tap, Chelsea.
Yeah, I think they're trying to play kind of a little split, and I think Yannick was right in his concern about both the corner guards make this a harder shot than it otherwise would be, because you got to get pretty tight to this outside guard to make it, but they're just talking quiet weight, so even if you didn't touch it, you'd probably end up buried somewhere around the T-line behind this corner guard, so not the worst, but if you could ever split it, Yannick was saying 4/5, just cross the face a tiny bit and tap it back, then there will likely be a double for Corey Dropkin, but it would be on that back rock, and you run the risk of jamming it on your own red as well.
So a great opportunity here for the Swiss skipper, Benoit Schwartz van Berkel. Trying a little split here to lie 3 and really put the pressure on Corey Dropkin.
Whoa!
And then just parents.
Oui!
Cheering section.
Ja, bitte dran. Whoa! Kul!
Zwei Drittel Treffer.
Kul! Kul!
This is really close to perfect.
Okay, no, c'est bien.
That's quite good, I think.
Yeah, they probably should have been sweeping that back rock, because I do think that you can make the double or even the hit and roll here for Corey, and it would never be more than 2. It might even be a force.
9-5.
I think so.
Really close to perfect. Rolled the shooter to the perfect place. Just would have liked to move that back rock a little bit further.
No. So wie ist das? Which turn do you like better?
Yeah, for sure. That back rock goes even 1 foot farther, and I think you're in really good shape.
Yeah,
Corey's freezing for his life.
I think a 9-5 right here. Okay. 5 cm weniger Treffer.
Also, ich hätte gar nur 7/8. So.
I think for Scwaller, a 2 here would suit them just fine.
2/3.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if you come, like, he's talking 9-5, so you might even just be playing the roll, because if you make the double, I'm not sure you'll be shot, and you need to be shot after this. But just roll in buried. Even half buried is going to queue up a jam on that yellow anyway, so it would be a pretty good shot as well.
So another potential game saver here for Corey Dropkin. Feels like we've said that a few times so far.
Poor Corey.
Yeah.
He's facing a game-saving shot almost every end other than the shot he had for 4.
Yeah. But does need to make this good, or 3 might be on the table for Team Scwaller.
Okay.
So last rock here, Corey Dropkin, 4th end, has to have it.
Clean.
Curl.
Whoa, curl. Curl.
Can't hit this thin.
Hard, Andrew.
Can't hit this thin. Oh, Oh, wow.
That's one way to do it.
That was very friendly. Didn't think there was any way they could get shot off of that. Wow. Great shot from Corey Dropkin.
Sneaky great.
Sneaky.
Worked out pretty well. Looking at the potential chase, and I do think he maybe could make it. And that's a good point, too, that Yannick just made. If you over curls and you chisel your own yellow, you'll score one that way anyways. Could be for 3 if you could ever stick it. At least for 2 if you could punch it through.
Another look at this from Corey Dropkin. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Little around the horn.
Yeah. Very nice shot. This is here for 3, but it is not easy. Playing a track they have not played yet here, just trying to move this red. The one thing working for them here, Chelsea, they don't have to move it very far.
No, and this should curl enough to make this. It's more a question of the speed than anything else, I think, playing in the fresh stuff out here.
Final stone, Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel. Potential shot for 3.
Whoa!
Lashak Couchepin picking it up early.
Whoa! Close!
Sounds close. Sounds close. You got to get by that top yellow. Can you get by the top yellow? Yes. Do you have the red far enough?
What a
yes,
shot.
you do. What a shot from Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel. Phenomenal touch. Corey Dropkin makes a beauty, and Benoit one-ups him. 3 on the board for Team Scwaller. They lead 6-1. We're going to take a 3-minute break.
Let me say what's best for me, to feel at ease, to feel happy. Lovely weather with the breeze, the simplest things. Sad love.
Rio Mare. Great taste needs little. Prime quality tuna and selected olive oil. Rio Mare, the real taste of Italy.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Chip live from the Mattamy Athletic Centre in Toronto, Ontario. John Cullen alongside Chelsea Carey for this men's battle between Yannick Scwaller and Corey Dropkin. Corey Dropkin fighting for his life in the tournament and fighting for his life in this game as well. We were talking in the break, Chelsea just, finally makes the shot. We talked about how many game-saving shots he's had to make. He finally makes one, makes it maybe even better than he called it. And then Benoit Schwartzman Burkle just twisting the knife, coming down with that beautiful quiet weight tap for 3.
Yeah, just ruthless by Benoit. That was such a hard shot, but it is very much Benoit doing Benoit things. That's right in his wheelhouse to make that little quiet tap that looks impossible. And for Corey, it just has to feel like, what do I have to do? It's just such an uphill battle, and even when they're making shots, they're just getting absolutely punished by Team Scwaller.
Buzemsa?
All right, man.
So they're going to play the corner guard tick here. That's when you know things are going bad for you when that happens.
Or well for you if you're the guy throwing the corner guard tick.
Yeah, totally.
Whoa! 11. 12. Ja, 11 12. Good. Good. Close. Whoa! Straight. Good. Good. Sorry, good. Good. Good.
Pablo Lechac-Couchepin once again, money in the bank. Taps that right onto the rings.
Do you think that's a rule we'll see change sooner than later?
Yeah, then you won't be able to do that.
I think you have to. It's a much easier shot than a center guard tick, and it just kills the end. All the offense is gone all of a sudden, and so if we're trying to keep rocks in play and keep it exciting, then I think you have to get rid of that, of probably just all ticks. I don't know how else you do it. Like, you don't want to put another line in the ice, but
the box, Chelsea, the box.
Yeah, you could. Well, and I mean, I do think that there's some merit to that, honestly, but I don't know that that's what they're going to want to do. But something I think needs to be done about the corner guard tick, in my humble opinion.
Oh, your opinion doesn't need to be humble.
Het is genau het ijs.
You can be egotistical.
Maar
Immodest. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I do think that's what the players would tell you they want to. I don't think there's too many players out there who are saying, no, not my precious corner guard ticks.
We got it!
They're just, the players are too good. It's the same with the center guard tick. They got too good at it, and then they took it away from us, and that's what's happened with the corner guard tick. And like I said, corner guard tick, I think, more originated in mixed doubles, really, and I threw a couple of them playing mixed doubles, and it is an easier shot. You can hit it almost anywhere high.
Yeah.
As long as your weight's close and your shooter's gone, and it's fine. The center guard one you have to be much more precise with.
Yeah. I mean, I am not opposed, and I could see curling eventually getting to a place where the first 5 rocks at the end you can't hit.
Yeah, like doubles.
Like doubles.
Just like mixed doubles, yeah, which I would be okay with that too.
And that's, people complain about blanks and whatever. That's a good way to maybe solve that problem at the same time. I mean, you might still see blanks, but they'll be fewer and further between if you've got 5 rocks you can't hit out of play to start each end.
I agree, sort of, but I also would suggest to you that if you watched a lot of the blanks in men's curling, it's not because they started it. Until the free guard zone's over, they're not hitting anything anyway. So I'm not sure how much it would change, but I would like to see something in an attempt to make it a little bit more.
I could just see the strategy changing a bit, where if you know your opponent can't hit, you might come into the rings earlier, as opposed to like a 2 corners or whatever. But yes, I agree with you. It's obviously the hitting ability is very high. The blank discussion is a separate one from the let's leave the first 5 rocks in play, but I'd love to see it tried at a slam next year, just see where it gets us.
There's an argument to be made that you throw less rocks in a doubles end, right? So there's 5 rocks that can't be hit, but what percentage is that of the total rocks in the end? And so then for 4-person, you would have to increase that if you wanted it to have the same effect. Yes. I think 7 might be the number, but you'd have to play around with it.
First 7. Oh, baby.
And I'm not sure that's a good thing for curling either, but this is the kind of thing that we're playing around with, because what's the answer?
Well, we got 5 slams a year to try stuff out at.
Yeah, I always love that about the slams. They're willing to try new stuff and see what happens. The no double blanks rule was interesting. I'm not sure it accomplished what we were hoping it would accomplish, but again, you have to try it out. You don't know what's going to work until you actually play with it for different teams will take different approaches. Like, you need an event or two to kind of see how it goes. And we wouldn't have the 5-rock rule or the no-tick rule if it wasn't for the slams that all originated here.
Jay, bite the button.
Top 8. Top 4.
Line's good.
Top 4.
So Scwaller lying 2 here currently.
Like to go a little bit.
Andrew Stapera looking for a freeze.
Straight. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Freeze it. No, bite.
Good judge. Good.
Ja.
That's pretty good from Stapera in terms of weight, but unfortunately line not really there.
Am besten machst du das, oder?
I think it would have been good if you didn't move. You just couldn't afford to move it to be on the angle that you wanted to be at. I think that angle's perfect if it's dead frozen to it.
It's my bad, Andrew.
Tapped it just enough that you've got room to play. You could punch it through the hole, but they're going to come off the side one and just try to rearrange this a bit.
Wir können zwar rausoperieren, aber wenn wir einen verlieren, dann kann mir dort etwas basteln irgendwie. Das ist viel Weight, ja. Bei das, was ich gesehen habe, ist ziemlich gut. Dann nehmen wir den Gelb raus und auch irgendwie auf die andere Seite vom Haus.
Huh? I mean, you're 2 inches heavy.
What?
Based on me thinking it needed to go.
Whoa.
So that's pretty close.
Wait! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Non, c'est bien. Trop fin, excuse.
Well, it's not as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
Creates a pocket behind the tee line.
I'm not sure it's as good as they reacted like it was either. And
Yeah.
there's probably some purpose behind that, but
Little bump.
does create a pocket already. And then if Corey can tap this red a little bit into that pocket and spread those yellows out just a hair, it would be an even better pocket.
Yellow pocket.
Ja, mais on veut pas ça, comme ça. Lunette, Tillman. He played it safe. I also didn't play it very, very beautiful.
Whoa. Easy. Easy then. Off right now.
Donne-moi eine schöne Nose.
Straight.
Schau jetzt, hat das noch gut gemacht.
I don't think that's what they were after.
No, the weight was probably fairly close, maybe a
That's
bit
what
heavy,
it
but
says.
they needed to get all the way to the nose of that and didn't come close to that.
Hair high. Haarhusse.
Now both reds go. All these probably go.
Yeah, smack this hard enough. Looks like a bit of a Newton's cradle situation, except the rocks are not going to come back into the house once you hit it.
Es passiert nicht, dass wir es dann einfach in den Corner schieben.
The fact that it ticks and rolls to where all the reds
Dass es, wenn ihr Energie hat.
Bombe. Schau das weg.
Wie, wollen wir das? Sonst geht er in den Corner.
Der bleibt.
Ich würde so auch.
Ja.
Sonst geht er einfach in den Corner aufbauen.
Wenn du es nicht machst, er spielt es. Also, ja, das wird gar, aber du musst dich wohlfühlen, ja. Du musst präziser sein, als man denkt. Das ist schon.
Bei dem hier?
Ja, du musst einfach genau, wenn du ein Haar raus willst, du machst das. Das ist, die sind,
das Ding ist, es ist schade, wenn ich 2 Drittel bin. Logisch, alles ist weg, aber dann geht er durch. Ich würde auch so.
Okay, für mich ist
That
fein.
might be what
Ja,
we need to
weißt,
look at.
er spielt Nose. Aber ist gut, ist
If
okay.
I just don't throw rocks, we might be okay.
Oh ja, das Gefühl, das geht wirklich, es explodiert, aber ist gut. Watch 11. Dies. Da.
Seriously though.
Also, es ist schon noch wichtig, dass du vor der Gelb rollst. Nicht hier.
Er will nicht auf 4-5 draussen wischen, dann ist alles weg. Und dann geht er in den Corner, oder?
Du musst genau rollen.
Ja.
So I
Der
think
rechts ist immer können wir
the
immer
concern
abschießen im Moment.
from Yannick was that if they throw that shot to kill all those rocks, you probably have to hit it high enough that your shooter leaves town. And then Corey could just go around this corner guard. So they're going to just hit and roll into the mess here. Sit for 1, 2, 3, and in a bit of a triangle. Talking about throwing 10, which is just like a heavy control weight.
Ooh, just rolls a hair too far for Yannick.
Yeah, if
I think we're
mega müde.
They could have. I don't think they possibly could have, but they would have hoped to touch the red, not the middle yellow, because then the shooter spun up off of that. So leaves a pretty impressive wall for Team Dropkin to freeze down in 2 now.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So big shot here for Tom Howell to try and turn the momentum in the Americans' favor.
It's got to be back there.
Gotta be T-line, guys. Straight always. Straight always. You gotta go, guys. Hard, hard, hard,
Looks
hard,
like maybe Tom pulled the string here a little bit. Stopera and Fenner trying to get it there.
Keep going, keep going. Keep going.
Ja. Dru vekk, går det.
This is not the right spot for that one, unfortunately. Again, Chelsea, to your point, you just couldn't move that Yellowstone.
Yeah, I think in that case, just overcurled. If they had so much room to come to that the only thing you couldn't do was overcurl, and unfortunately for Tom, that's what happened there. Weight was really quite perfect, but they had to sweep it for the line, so ended up being maybe a half a rock heavy, but only because of that all that sweeping, so just didn't quite get the line right on that one. When his first one undercurled by so much, it can sometimes be easy to overcorrect with your release, and then probably Corey also moved the broom a bit, so then you double correct, and then you're in trouble again.
So another chance for Team Scwaller to get rid of all reds. Benoit Schwartz and Burkle's had a great game so far. Looking for another one here, and how about that? No trouble. He really just has all the shots in his locker. He can make that delicate shot in the last end for 3, and he can smack rocks with the best of them.
Yeah, he can just throw it so hard and all from leg drive. There's very little extension, which makes it easier to keep that rock on line. He can release it the same way that he would release a draw or a normal weight hit, because he can just kick so hard. I know there's been plenty of times where we've looked at a shot that we don't think is there, and I'll say to my teammates, well, if I could borrow Benoit, we might be able to make it.
Well, and if you ever met Benoit, you know, not the biggest guy.
No, he's not.
But he just finds a way to make his delivery work for him.
Yeah.
And apparently it wasn't something that he had in juniors, so he's just worked that hard at getting that explosive power out of the hack. So that was all built in the gym, from what I understand, because I don't think as a junior he could throw it all that hard.
If you think he's a small guy now, you should see some videos of him in junior. And if he turned sideways, you could see through him. I always remember when they won the World Juniors in 2010, Peter de Cruz picked him up and helicopter spun him like a little baby.
Oh, I'm going to have to YouTube that later.
It's really good. The Scots missed their last. It was Ali Fraser missed his last shot. And it was a makeable shot. So I think they had already kind of thought, well, we're not going to win.
Right.
And so then when Ali missed the shot, Benoit just kind of turned to Peter in disbelief. And yeah, Peter just picks him up and spins him in a circle. It's really, really funny.
I've never seen that, but I'm going to change that later today.
Oh, yeah. I'll just pull it up right now. We can watch it live on stream.
Yep. Clean. Hard. Hard.
Whoa. Whoa. Pooch, roll it a little bit if you can.
Anton Pil.
Well, I don't think Corey's going to be scoring any more than 1 this end.
No, it sure doesn't look like it.
Pretty easy for Benoit to get rid of this red stone, and it'll just be where this one ends up as to how difficult it is. Final stone, Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel, and might even be his final stone of the game, depending on how things go for Corey Dropkin with his last. This rolls, and it's an open hit for 1.
10-2.
Or draw, I suppose, if you really want to get freaky, but Corey is indeed going to hit here. Got quite a bit of room to roll on either side.
Il a raté le bench. C'est dur.
Same weight.
C'est pas le contrôle du scoreboard.
Tommy just told me 10-2. Okay. Let's aim for a 10-5.
Assist 5.
So final stone, Corey Dropkin, 5th end, trailing by 5. Needs a hit and stick for a single.
Easy. Clean. Curl. Curl. Curl.
Oh, you don't like to be hearing that curl call. Oh boy, is this going to stick? Ooh, just curls enough in time to stick for their one.
10-6.
6-2, Scwaller leads, and looks like the Americans are debating whether to keep playing or not. And I think we're going to go one more, so we'll see after this.
Does that look heavier? Or? Get up and score his handshake.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
pushing limits,
seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line. It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Line's a bit tight now. Line's.
That is exactly as described.
Okay, easy now, easy now.
Kerr Drummond was on that
Kerr
Scottish
Drummond
team.
was on that Scottish team, yes. Now, Valentine Tanner, Peter De Cruz. Kerr Drummond's got some real nice frosted tips going on there. And the crowd in Flims, Switzerland, that was a home World Juniors for them. The crowd going wild.
Highly recommend everyone listening Googles that because that was excellent.
2010 World Junior Final. You're welcome. We're here at the 2025 Players Championship Draw 9, 15 years later. And it is Yannick Scwaller in firm control here, up 4 with the hammer.
Länge over line. Gut. Aber versteckt lang.
Super.
Okay, line's nice. A little bit of room. Line's okay though.
Spielen wir als Schweiz oder nicht? Wir können wirklich auf die Seite spielen, oder? Ja. Okay.
So 2 guards up here for Corey Dropkin. Lachak Couchepin going to draw a second one around here.
Nein, wir gehen drum von Anfang an.
Satte Chance.
Hinter 4.
Ja, nein, T.
Curl.
T.
Ali is room to this one yet. Looks like it's all there for speed, but now starting to curl.
Ligne for nose. Oui.
And another great shot from Lachak Couchepin, who has had a phenomenal game here. Really making everything.
Like back 12.
I also love how they go from
back
Swiss
12,
German to French to English in one line call.
I know. Well, I love it. The one thing I always love about this team, too, is Lachak Couchepin's native language is French. Sven Mikkel's native language is German. And so usually when Yannick is calling line, if he wants Pablo to sweep, he will say oui in French. And if he wants Sven Mikkel to sweep, he'll say ja in German. So it's awesome to listen to. My brain does not work in that fashion.
No.
Let's say that for free.
Yeah, mine either.
Okay, pretty good.
And it was, I remember when Sven first joined the team, they were all French speaking except for him. So he had to really work on his French and got it to a pretty good place. But now with Yannick joining, they're sort of half and half. And Benoit seems to go back and forth fairly seamlessly. But if it was up to him, he would speak in French.
Oui. Oh, oui. Oh.
That's pretty good. Does stick the red rock on the button, but cleans things up.
They'll be pretty happy with that result, even though that red stays in there. It's fairly vulnerable. Corey's forced to guard it, so he can't put another one in the house. He's going to have to throw some guards on this.
He's a touch player.
Bien joué, Sven.
Half. Okay, line's good. Half. Straight.
So another guard up here for Andrew Stapera.
Easy.
Reminder, we will be back at 3:30 local time this afternoon, 12:30 Pacific.
17. Okay.
With more continuing coverage of the AMJ Players Championship.
Das ist nie ein Call, Okay, all right.
Just going to see a steady diet of this unless somebody misses something. Peel guard, peel guard, peel guard.
Yeah, another guard up here for Tom Howell.
Okay, just keep it clean. Line's nice right now. Clean it, guys. It's diving right now.
At 3:30, we have some great games for you. Bruce Mowat facing off against Ross White in a rematch of the Scottish National Final. And we've got Matt Dunstone facing off against Brad Jacobs in a rematch of the Brier Final.
Wow.
So that's very exciting.
It's a heck of a draw.
And the peel made. And the guard will go back up for Tom. In the other games, Vrano and Yoshimura tied 2-2 in the sixth. Yoshimura with the hammer. And Hasselborg and Tabata tied 4-4. Hasselborg with the hammer in that one. And in the Sportsnet and other home team network feature game, it's been all Mike McEwen all the time. He leads Brad Guju 6-2.
Good spot. The same thing for the first.
Another peel here for Yannick Scwaller as we are running out of things to say about how this is going. We need to have like sort of an acceptable, like built-in break when we know it's going to be peel guard, peel guard, peel guard.
Yeah.
Just everybody kind of understands like, oh, okay, that's how it's going to go. Commentators take 3 minutes off.
Just a quick little break. In the
Just a
middle
quick
of the end.
break. Well, the other thing here, and I'm not sure this game is going to get to an eighth end, so it won't matter too much, but Corey Dropkin playing very slowly. His time clock is quite low. So if we do somehow get into a weird situation where this goes to an eighth end, Corey's going to be in time crisis mode.
Definitely. They are very, very tight on time. And again, that's what sometimes happens when you're struggling. You just feel like you're fighting everything and there's too many conversations. It's overcomplicated in your head. And you just play really slowly, and it's everybody slips into that. It's really easy to do, but that is pretty common when you're having one of these weeks like Team Dropkin is right now.
Little bit of room. Curl.
Mine's okay. Little curl.
Good.
And another peel. So we'll see what Corey decides to do with his last one. They are shot.
Good. He's the same.
I feel like
Isabella Vrano stealing the
we hit it
sixth.
too easy, right?
So they now lead Yoshimura
Like, we have to
3-2.
go like
Yoshimura with the hammer in 7.
That way he can't just thin half blank.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
the
the biter.
Same ice.
Yeah.
Same ice is probably pretty good. Just
I
bite.
don't think Benoit is going to care too much about blanking. I feel like a 5th point on the scoreboard will do it.
Yeah.
Corey thinking they need to come in the house here so that he doesn't have a shot for a blank. But, I mean, realistic, even a blank, I'd probably quit.
Yeah. I think so, but he's talking just a biter so that Benoit can't make the double and roll in. So you do make his shot for one more difficult with this too.
Felt maybe a hair lighter. Straight early.
Okay, got to be a biter. Straight. Line's real tight.
Straight early.
Are we light?
Okay, just
Whoa,
play
then.
guard.
Whoa.
So they're well short here, and you don't want to over curl. This could give a wide open shot to Benoit for 2, and this is just, I don't know how you end up that short. They were trying for the 12 foot there, and that's barely over the hog line and over curled.
Ik zei zo. Ja.
So this is another chase for Benoit, and it's much easier than the one he made for 3 in the 4th.
It is that.
And I think if he makes this, we will see the handshakes being offered by Corey Dropkin.
I would tend to agree.
So final stone here for Benoit Schwartz van Berkel. Downweight chase for 2. Sven Mikkel indicating it's a little bit heavy. Le Chat-Couchepin trying to bring this one over.
Curl!
It's not going to get there. Can they come off their own?
Curl!
Oh, can they get a little kiss on their own? Oh.
Wow.
Okay, well, that was a really good scrub by Le Chat-Couchepin to even get a piece of that. And they move it far enough for 1. And are you telling me Dropkin's going to keep playing here?
Wait,
it appears that way.
All right, well, we'll be back after this.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Piezen dolly lang. Goed, Pablo. That's right.
All right, we are back, and it is officially against our will. Corey Dropkin losing 7-2 here, and it's been all one-way traffic. Yannick Scwaller out-curling them at every position in every facet of the game here. And Chelsea, we were talking a little bit in the break. I get it a little bit for Corey Dropkin. It's been they had a tough run at Worlds. They've had a tough run here so far this week. They know that a third loss probably means their Players' Championship is over. But I don't know if I see a huge amount of benefit to the team staying out here right now while Scwaller continues to run roughshod all over you.
Yeah, I agree. I would get it conceptually if you're trying to figure the ice out and that kind of thing, if you still had a chance. But losing this third game, you probably don't have a chance, and they're just not playing very well. So staying out there for any longer, in theory, only makes that worse. It makes you doubt everything even more and just sort of reinforces that you don't know the sheet and you don't know what's going on. So if it was me, I would be off the ice by now. But obviously feel like they still have something to learn here, and they want to, leave maybe feeling a little bit better about themselves going into the next game. Make 8 shots here and leave with a bit of a less bitter taste in your mouth, maybe.
Right about Maple Leaf here, guys. It's always curl. Right to the maple leaf. Keep going a little bit better.
So again, Pablo Lechat-Couchepin continuing his great play, puts 2 behind the center guard, and
No more freeze, Philip.
Corey Dropkin decides to throw a corner.
Weiß nicht, ob es viel ist, aber
Schwaller's
von mir
like,
aus
what do
können wir
we, I don't
spielen.
even know what we do here.
Je kleiner die Scoring Area ist für ihn.
Like, I guess we're up 5. Team percentage is about 20% higher than Dropkin. Maybe we just keep playing
Aber was liegt er am
aggressively.
Studieren?
Could also chip this corner guard into the rings if you were so inclined. Could also throw it through.
Sorry?
Ja, Tick ist mit.
Verstehst du es nicht?
Tick auf gelb ist gut. Auch wenn du Tick auf gelb ist noch gut. Ja. Ist alles staggered.
Können wir auch, ja?
Okay, so they are going to play the tick again here. Sven Mikkel's turn this time.
Oui. 12. Ist genug, der Länge. Oui. 12. Oui. Wow. Oui. Wow. Wow.
And just like that. Corey could quit now.
Yeah.
You could quit after that. That's the thing about curling. You can actually quit
Back
at
4,
any
back
time.
8.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't
yes.
have to be after an end is over. You can quit whenever you want.
It's always a little bit weird, but you definitely see it happen where,
Yep.
you know, 2 perfect ticks are made and then they just shake hands.
Yep.
No, we're done.
Yeah, that used to happen back in the 4 rock rule
Yeah.
days. You make both the ticks and you go, okay, well, we're dead. See you later. Yeah, definitely that happened to me a few times.
Back 4. Yep. Yep.
Mega bien.
Curl. Curl and go.
Crache-toi aller haute weg.
And this draw not made for Andrew Stapera. Clicks the guard. Does leave 2 corners. Yannick taking a look. You might as well
Je
take
wilt vooral
on
met
this
elkaar
double.
maken hier.
Yeah.
Either or,
Als
either
je nu
double.
ziet, schon noch schwierig.
No real risk, and you're going to get the
Das
peel out of
tue
it
ich.
anyway, so.
Für hier doen 2 Drittel. Und für so halb.
Mit dem Mautturm, das geht nicht.
Eher so, ja?
Ja, genau, ja. Okay.
Dünn 2 Drittel kannst du vielleicht so.
Ja. Weniger ist.
Good.
So Sven Mikkel,
Oh, shake.
order
shake,
of business is
shake.
the peel. First order of business. Now do you have the double? Unfortunately, just racks it. And will that
Good.
one stick
That's right.
too? I think it's just out.
Yeah, it's close. From our overhead, it looks further out than it probably actually is, but it does seem like they all think it's out.
Ja, voll, es geht. Stop it, tap.
Sicher, mit dem Amt,
Ja.
ja. Das ist so viel mehr Treffer.
Ich habe es immer klar gewesen, out. Das habe ich immer gewusst.
Ja, ja, okay.
Ja, ja. Ich habe nur geschaut, ob es überhaupt geht oder nicht. Das ist nicht ganz safe gewesen.
So if that is in, maybe a little sign of life here for Corey Dropkin.
It's there right now.
Okay, carve it. Carve. Good, ja. Carve. Carve.
Es muss schon noch mega viel curlen.
Carve, keep going. Keep going.
And I
Keep
get
going.
this one
Gotta
to
get
curl
distance.
over enough to be buried.
I like lost hand.
Yeah. 4-8.
Won't get there.
Steier. Hier rolle ich noch besser, aber ja.
Yeah, only lying 3rd and 4th, maybe 5th if that red stone is in. But
Yeah, and that red stayed. You were only ever going to be 3rd and 4th, but it stayed pretty much
wide open.
I think there
Yep.
might even be air in between, so
Yeah,
very
certainly looks
chaseable.
like it, yeah. So just an open hit here for Yannick Schwaller. Probably wouldn't mind sticking around for 3rd shot here.
Whoa, clean, clean. Oui, oui.
Ouais, Sven, tu dois. Très fort. Ja. Ouais. Go, 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 go.
Rolls into the middle. I don't think they wanted to do that necessarily.
No, not to there, I don't think, but they do sit 3, and Corey's going to have to deal with it.
think we can go hitting stuff. Isn't it just like tap and stay in front?
We could try to.
I think we have to save that.
Okay.
Is it just try and kill one in the middle and sit right there?
Just give me firm. Clean. Close. Curl. Whoa. Clean. Straight.
They get two of the yellows moving. It's not a bad result, but it is still Scwaller's shot.
Yeah, and does the double jam is the question, because if it does, you
Watch
might
there.
end up with
Ja, 2 Drittel. Skate.
something here.
Gut. Ist gut, ja.
Just a shot at a 2.
Es gibt genau einen Jam, aber unwahrscheinlich. Ja.
They are going to try the double. Heard Benoit say it does jam some of the time. But I think they feel confident with the weight Yannick can throw that it's likely not going to. Would you ever just hit the open one to lie 2 here, Chelsea, instead of chasing this?
You definitely could.
Wait.
I think it's again a little bit
Wait.
of that smelling blood kind of a situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can just do that. That's,
Yeah,
then
or
that's,
just,
then that's fine.
Make it perfect.
That's right.
Really good shot from Yannick Scwaller. Phenomenal.
I
Makes
think-
the double and they lie 2.
I think most of the time if you were jamming it, you were probably making the double, so then it's worth, so it's not terrible still, so probably worth the risk for them.
So another draw around the corner here for Tom Howell, just trying to get anything going here against this powerhouse Scwaller team this afternoon.
Okay, line's nice. Just clean. Line's good, yep. Clean. Line's good.
Wenn ich jeder Coach
Clean.
werde, musst du nur eine Message senden. Bitte mehr Rotation.
Give me here is fine.
Ja,
Yep. Yep.
Komm, machen.
Okay,
It's a good shot from Tom Howell.
Yeah, probably almost as good as he
Done,
could
yeah.
have done.
Oder Fries, also ich.
And the run back is there.
Sei da verloren.
Benoit wants to take it on. I mean, the way those yellow rocks are angled, it's not a gimme double for Corey. So even if you chase the run and you miss it, as long as you don't get rid of one of your 2 yellows in the process, I think you're still feeling pretty good.
The double is definitely there, but it's, again, it's hard to stick it. You have to throw it with really quiet weight, probably, to stick it, and the house is quite dead, so the quieter you throw it, you run the risk of not killing one of those yellows.
Totally.
En pas de mais. Ja.
Wait.
Does he have it? Yes, just.
Gets away with it. Does make the double easier,
Yes.
is the only bad news, I guess, but for Corey Dropkin,
Can't lie 2 anyway, so.
No, and you can't play the double now. It's not going to help you at all, so.
Can't agree with me.
Speeds come down just a couple feet.
Okay.
Ja. Das ist wie
Like top 14 line.
Das ist wie viel.
Ja.
Maybe need a little less.
Ich glaube, das jouw doen.
So just a hit and roll in front here, I'm guessing, Chelsea?
Angstleid actief.
Just pray that Benoit jams it.
I thought they were talking about going around the guard, but
Yeah, you could also freeze here, but I guess they're just deciding that maybe this is their best chance to get a miss. Oh no, they are going behind the guard, you're right. It would be the same ice either way, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call.
Fully open.
Ja, spelar man vitamin 5 wenn er spielt.
Yeah.
Close line.
Line's good.
Yep.
Das
Yes.
Das ist nicht gut.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Okay.
Corey just has not been close to draw weight at all today.
That's that same rock, though.
Yeah, that first rock could be that.
Got it.
But he's also missed short with his last rock,
Yeah, we saw him
too.
miss short his last one last end. So, but his first one has been
Has been
light and
consistently a
curly,
problem.
pretty much every time.
No question. So I think now this is almost certainly Benoit Schwartz Van Berkel's last throw of the game. Probably trying to put this somewhere in the top 8 foot. Make Corey's draw tough or his shot for one. I think even if Corey were to find a way to get one here, it'd be game over.
Linje circuit.
Another good one here.
Ja, bisschen
Linie
viel
ist
ist schön,
perfekt.
ja.
And Benoit pretty much walks it down there perfectly. Great shot. Perfect spot. No triple.
He knows what we're doing. Yeah. Knows it's close. Knows to a little flop.
This is, yeah, there's not really a great draw on that in-turn side for Corey with where those guards are, so you kind of have to hit here, and this is no gimme.
No, it's you got to get all the way to the nose of this. This is a bit ugly for sure.
Also ich hätte jetzt aufgegeben, nachdem ich da die Corner gerade anfriese. Wenn ich es dann...
Ja, nach der Corner abfriese.
Ja.
Okay.
Oh. 10-5. Das ist le match. Spaß.
So final stone here for Corey Dropkin. Needs a little tricky nose hit for one.
Clean. Close. Yep. Easy.
Has to get pretty close to this top yellow.
Hard.
Has to get pretty close to this top yellow.
Nice shot.
And well done by Corey Dropkin. Great shot, and that is enough for the Americans. A good end for Corey Dropkin. Makes a nice shot for his single, but it will go in the books as a 7-3 victory. Yannick Scwaller improving to 3-1. Corey Dropkin dropping to 0-3. We'll be back here in just under 2 hours' time. The 4 more games at 3:30 local time. And of course, the other 3 games still going on, so you can switch over to those here on the Home Team Network. For Chelsea Carey and everyone here at HTN, I've been John Cullen. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.